So today is June 30th, which means we are now halfway through the year, and I figure now is a good time to get into my 20 favorite films of 2025 so far. I know 20 seems like a very random number to have for the list, but I just didn't feel like whittling the list down to 15. So 20 it is, and it's my channel, so I can do whatever I want. This is not going to be ranked. I'm just going to go over them in alphabetical order. And there are some movies that I have not gotten around to seeing just yet. So if there's a movie that you feel like is missing from here, I either haven't seen it or I just didn't like it as much. So here we go. First up is 28 Years Later, which, similarly to 28 Days Later, this movie brings a very kind of fresh and inventive new spin on the zombie genre, and I feel like a lot of its themes and ideas that it's exploring kind of makes it the sort of definitive post-Brexit movie to come out of the UK. Next up is The Accountant 2, or The Accountant Squared, as I've seen it written in some places. This might be the dad movie of the year so far. It is just a delight, and the characters are very charming, and sure, the action stuff is good, but it's really the connection between the two brothers that really makes this as enjoyable as it was. The Ballad of Wallace Island is a small movie that packs a really big punch. It starts off pretty simple, but peels back many layers as it goes along, and I ultimately found it very moving as well as very funny. The Day the Earth Blew Up. As someone who is a big fan of the Looney Tunes, this movie delivers on pretty much everything that I would have wanted. It's got the laughs, it's got the clever writing, and the animation's great. This was just so much fun to watch. And going from one comedy to another, Deep Cover is probably the funniest film I've seen all year. It has such a clever premise, and the movie does a great job at kind of taking advantage of it, and the cast works really well together. Elio is Pixar doing what Pixar does best. It is a very engaging and moving story about loneliness that I really connected with. F1. So even though this isn't necessarily as tightly written as something like Top Gun Maverick, I think even as someone who doesn't follow the sport, I was really entertained by the film. It's very slick, it's cool, and the race sequences are incredibly thrilling. Friendship is a very memorable comedy that has a sort of undercurrent of sadness and absurdity that delivers in a way that you can only get from someone like Tim Robinson. And it was something that really worked for me, but it's definitely not going to be for everybody. And here we are with the wordiest title, From the World of John Wick, Ballerina, which just goes to show that the people who work at 87 North are truly some of the best in the business when it comes to crafting action sequences, and some of the stuff that they do here is just truly awe-inspiring to see. And I just had such a great time with this one, and it was just really nice to step into this world in a different character, and a character that I really enjoyed watching. Havoc is another action film that I really enjoyed this year. Gareth Evans has such a unique way of filming and putting together his action sequences that provides some of the most visceral thrills of any movie that I saw this year. And then we have Last Bullet, which is a French action movie. It is a great capper to a really fun trilogy of car-oriented action movies, and this features some of the best car stunts that I've seen in a really long time. The Life of Chuck takes everything that I really love about Mike Flanagan's writing and just cranks it up to 11 with the way it explores life, time, memory, and human connection. Materialist is a very engaging drama that takes a lot of rom-com tropes and explores them in a very grounded context that embraces all of the nuance and messiness that comes with it. Mickey 17 is a very wild, very irreverent, but also very relevant sci-fi story that has Bong Joon-ho firing on all cylinders. The Phoenician Scheme explores a very complicated but also very endearing father-daughter relationship in classic, hilarious Wes Anderson fashion. Next up is Presence, which has Steven Soderbergh bringing a very clever and very cinematically inventive twist to the haunted house formula. Next up is Sinners, because, obviously. Time Stalker is a very twisted and hilarious exploration of love through time from English filmmaker Alice Lowe. The Ugly Stepsister is Norwegian body horror Cinderella. Need I say more? And to finish off this list, we are bookending with another film that involved Alex Garland, and that is Warfare, which is this very intense assault on the senses and is probably the most haunting cinematic experience that I've had all year. And that is my list. Be sure to let me know what you thought, and tell me some of your favorite films of the year so far in the comments.